Hello and welcome back. Today I'll be going over LeetCode problem 69, which sadly, unlike the power problem, we can't just finish in one line. The problem wants us to find the square root of an input, but we're not allowed to use exponents to raise the input to the power of 1/2. And of course, we're not allowed to use built-in operators that just give us the square root. Let's think about how we want to solve this. I could just go through every single number until the input itself, so I could check what the square root is, but that seems very inefficient, especially when we're dealing with really large numbers. We can do something similar though, by using a method similar to binary search. The idea I want to use involves having a lower and upper limit. In binary searching, we start with a very broad search, and we constantly narrow our search limits until we get to our target, which is what I'm going to be doing here. We're first going to start by initializing an upper limit to our input, and the lowest limit to 0. We're then going to initialize a variable called guess, and we're going to be constantly setting it to the average of the lower and upper limit. The average here represents our guess of what the square root is, and then we're going to be squaring it and comparing it with the input to see if it's higher or lower than the target. If it's too high, then that means we have to lower the average. We can do this by lowering the upper limit by setting the highest limit to our current guess. If our average was too low, then we'd set the lowest limit to our current guess. When we keep on lowering our higher limit and we keep on increasing our lower limit, then they're going to keep on coming closer and closer to a number, and there'll be a point where they can't increase anymore. That point is where our square root lies. So what we can do here is have this code continuously loop while the highest limit minus the lower limit is greater than 1. Whenever these two variables reach the target number, subtracting them will yield an answer less than 1, which is when we have to stop running the code. We would then return the lower limit as an integer for our answer. And the reason we're using the lower limit is because it's either equal or a bit less than the actual square root value, which is fine since we're supposed to round the answer down. Now that's all we have to do to find our square root answer. Before we can click submit, we should add two simple checks at the start of the code, being for when x is either 1 or 0. We can just write two simple if statements that check if x is 1 or 0, and then we return the respective values. Other than that, we can submit our code and it looks like it works. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, goodbye.